Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm AMNON, your host for the next 2 hours, along with Steve.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And Spence is here.
It's something wrong with my camera here. I don't know what's going on. I mean, just clean it. Good morning.
Good. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And this morning's show is being brought to you by Wirecast, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. You missed the spot, Spence.
I did? All right.
Yeah, you missed the spot. There you go now. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. You got it. Let's go. Very nice. Very, very nice. So
Let me clean the microphone. Okay. That's better.
now the dog is going to come and lick and eat all the food that came out of it on the floor.
Yeah.
All these good
Jim says stop.
morsels.
Jim was saying stop poking him in the eye.
Let's see. So what happened this week? Right off the top of your head, in my world, the LED light is too bright.
Oh God, yes.
Ooh,
I can't
got
use
something
it.
this week.
That I saw the light bar that he got, Steve.
Yeah, he showed it to me, the picture. I haven't actually seen it in person, obviously, but it's a big one.
Yeah, it's way too bright.
That's for lighting stadiums.
Yeah.
Well, for freezing deer too. When you're hunting, you put that thing on and they'll stop like they won't move.
Yeah, that's like you want to highlight 1,000 seats in a stadium. That's the one you put on.
Yeah, well, it's going to go outside in the backyard under the soffit and light the backyard.
And 3/4 of the neighborhood.
Yeah, maybe.
Calls over that one. Alien. It's going to be like the landing area in Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Here.
You could always rent it out to the local airport. If that gives you an idea of how bright this thing was, then yeah, it literally is that bright.
Gene is going to play golf. Really?
Oh, it would be nice to play today, I tell you. Nice and cool. So, Amnon.
Yes.
The thing that I saw this week was that Intel, in its own way, pissed off a bunch of its high-end users, gaming users. They've got an issue with one of their high-end processors, the 770 or 7700. Let me go find the article. I was just looking at it a little earlier. Having these mysterious spikes of heat. And we're not talking about a little bit. We're talking about 90 degrees centigrade.
Wow.
When the maximum temperature that these CPUs are supposed to run at is 100. So people were getting rather concerned. Yeah, so i7700 and 7700K. People are overclocking and they'll get these spikes out of nowhere. It just seems like, well, I'm not doing anything different. You know, what happened? Let me show you a picture of the chart that somebody pulled down. So a mysterious spike.
Wow.
Right? Running along just fine. Boom. Stays up there. I don't know how many seconds it was. It's actually minutes, it says.
20 seconds, isn't it?
It's a distant
30
let me
seconds.
see if I can read. Duration in minutes. So it
Oh,
was
minutes, blimey.
a 30-minute spike and then it went away. So
You'd understand it for 10 seconds or something, but 30 minutes,
Yeah.
that's one hell of a long time.
yeah. So what is happening? Is it a something happening with the the fan speed? Is something happening with, who knows? Is it just the monitoring is bad, or so people are not happy? They posted, oh, they forgot how many pages they said of posts were put on the Intel. 37 pages of complaints on Intel's community forums. They issued a statement saying, we don't recommend that you overclock these processors or raise the voltage or do anything. Removing the integrated heat spreader, sometimes called delidding, and that's actually putting on a better heatsink. But they basically fell back on their EULA and said, don't do that. And people are saying, well, it's happening even without overclocking. So,
Yeah, that's worrying. For, say, 10 seconds, a spike of heat like that, the processor could probably take it, but 30 minutes, that's a bit, that's cook your processor heat, isn't it?
Yep.
Surely must be some safeguards there to stop it from going, well,
Yeah,
there must be something happening to stop it going higher.
You would
I
think.
think it would. Yeah, you would think. So this is definitely overclocked. I mean, it's rated at 3.4,
probably.
It's rated, no, actually, clock speed is 4.2.
Oh, and it was
on the K, and on the regular 7700, 3.6. But this picture, the guy's actually clocking at 4.9. So he's got it up there, but it's just saying it's coming at a bad time because the new chip from AMD is out,
right,
and getting good reviews, and so people are now saying, well, the heck with this, I'm going to go with the Ryzen because Intel is acting wonky here. So, but these are not cheap processors. God, this is the top of the line. It's going to be, what would it go? The high end i7 AMNON, $600-700.
Normally, I have not dealt with this one yet. So, but yeah, normally it's way up there.
Yeah.
The whatchamacallit, the lower ones, the Kaby Lake and stuff, they were just lowered to below 300. So, because of the Ryzen.
The flagship one is 500-600, isn't it?
I don't know. I would think that this is their flagship right now. The
3.6 megahertz, gigahertz, isn't it?
But that's what happens. I mean, I was never into overclocking. It seems that the chip was made for a certain speed, even though a lot of people are saying, yeah, you can overclock it. Leave it alone. How much more are you getting when you overclock it from 4.2 to 4.9?
Well, if you're a hardcore gamer,
that's different.
Yes, that's why. That's
right.
where you would use it. So
right, that's a whole different story if you're a gamer. Agreed.
So AMNON, the plumbing took longer than expected, but went well.
Good.
But the thing I ran into, Steve, what I did was I have a natural gas hot water heater in my attic, of all places.
Cold water heater.
Cold water heater. That's right. It's not really hot water. It's a hot water tank.
Yeah.
Cold water heater. But I've been worried about it leaking. And sure enough, I had a leak about 2 years ago, and it wasn't the tank. It was the plumbing. So I was like, I looked at all different ways to move it. It's just too hard to move to my garage or down to a tankless heater somewhere. Thousands of dollars I would have had to spend. So I installed, I have a new hot water heater sitting in the garage to install because this one's over 10 years old. And, but I did the upgrade to the plumbing first. I put in a automatic water sensing alarm valve control that automatically turns the water off.
That's good.
So they make Z-Wave versions of this, and I came close to buying one,
Oh,
but it was just so much more expensive. I bought one that is automatic, battery backup. You can control it, but what it does do is it has an alarm contact. So if it does go off, the alarm will sound, but I could hook it up to I bought a Z-Wave, what do you call it? Open contact switch that actually has leads in, so you can plug leads into it and bypass the magnetic reed switch and go directly to the logic with a signal. So now I'll have a way to send a Z-Wave alert out to tell me that the water's been turned off. So what I did was I bought a baking pan and I drilled 2 holes in it. And when I cut the pipes that go up through the floor, I slid that down onto the floor with the pipes going through the pan, and I caulked around that. So now any water that comes off any of the plumbing that's above the floor will hit that pan or hit the pan under the hot water heater. I've got 2 sensors now that as soon as they detect any water, we'll close the valve.
very nice.
So
Very
yeah,
nice.
And the tool came in very handy. AMNON loaned me a tool for crimping the connections on the plumbing with plastic pipe. But what I didn't realize, AMNON, is that the old gray plastic polybutylene that I have,
You're supposed to
and the
throw
new
that
PEX
away.
pipe-
You're supposed to throw
No,
that.
I can't. I would love to, but the point is that they're not the same inside diameter. So you cannot use the PEX fittings with the old polybutylene. So I had to convert it. They had an adapter that goes from polybutylene to PEX. So I had to do that first and then do the rest all.
Didn't they have some years ago a action? What they call it?
It was a lawsuit against the original design.
With those pipes, and they
Yes.
would replace the pipes all over the house.
Everything. Yes,
So
I know somebody who had their entire plumbing system in their house replaced because the original stuff that came out was plastic fittings and plastic pipe, and the plastic fittings would crack.
so the pipes are okay?
The pipe is okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The pipe wasn't the issue. Though the design was also flaky in that the way they'd run it. And now they have restrictions and methods for running it so that you don't accidentally put a screw through it or something. But it was the fittings. And then
Okay.
they came out with copper fittings. My house is all copper fittings, elbows and couplers and all that, valves. Well, the old ones were plastic. Now they have plastic again now for PEX, which I would be very reluctant to use. Plastic fittings.
I know.
But-
It's
Yeah. G says house is too complicated. It is. But I had a leak and it stained the ceiling in one of my bedrooms. Thank God I was actually in there when it was happening, so I didn't lose the ceiling. But that scared me. I got 50 gallons of water sitting up there in the attic, plus active pressure that if it ever let go, I've seen it. I've made repairs in houses where they've had water leaks like this, and it's scary. I mean, it can destroy everything.
Yep. Water is funny.
And water goes downhill. So,
Yuppers. All right.
but if you have a
So good.
situation like this, you can get Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Z-Wave, home automation alarms, and valves that will work, either alert you or actually do something to mitigate a problem. So, worth looking into.
Let's switch from that. Here's an interesting story that got me worried. Google says it will automatically upgrade the version of Chrome that some Windows users are running in what it describes as a bet to improve stability, performance, and security. And it's a report from ZDNet that says on Tuesday, the search engine giant explained that Chrome users running 64-bit Windows with 4 gig or more of memory will be automatically migrated to the 64-bit version of Chrome if they are running the 32-bit version. Now, that's very nice that they have a version that may make it better, but I don't know how many people here remember that things will freeze on the Hangout, and turned out that it was because of the 64-bit, because I went and I manually upgraded to 64-bit, and it started causing problems. I'm not saying that Chrome 64 is bad, because a lot of other people are using it, but it's probably something in the system here with all the different software that I'm running that it's not compatible. So that thing about automatically migrated to 64-bit is worrying me. And
Well,
I have
I'm
no
running
idea.
64. I'm running 64, and I've never had a problem with.
Yeah,
Hangout.
I know. That's the thing. I mean, I'm running 64 on the machine in the office, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong. But here on the streaming machine, on the switching machine, it's causing a problem. I had to go back to 32-bit.
What were the symptoms?
It will freeze, the Hangout will freeze. I mean, my camera still working, but you guys will be gone, and I have to refresh the page and 2 or 3 times.
I know what it is. It's that light bar you bought freezes like a deer in the headlights.
Right.
Just everything stops. Just turn the light off. Everything will be fine.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
Hey, Nick.
Now, Amnon, you do realize that could have been just a single version of the 64-bit Chrome that had a problem.
Well, I mean, we had that problem earlier, like about a year ago, when 64 was just coming out. It was the same thing.
But you haven't tried it in a year.
I haven't tried it in a year.
So I mean, so you're
No.
about it could be completely solved.
No. I tried it about 3 weeks ago.
And
it did exactly the same thing. It freezes. The Hangout freezes, and I have to refresh it. And
well, soon enough, Google Hangouts will be gone anyway, so we'll have to find something new.
It's fine. I mean, but in the meantime, I mean, automatically to update. I mean, they're going the Microsoft route.
Well, Google Chrome's automatically updated since day one. It automatically updates you all the time. So you don't.
I don't know.
It does automatic updates. It always does. It always has. It always will. It's always automatically updating. This is why it's such a superior web browser to stuff like IE that you have to manually update. I'm on version 58 of Chrome. I've never done a Chrome update. I install it when I got the computer.
Well, maybe I did something because I have to go to the help and about, and it'll check and it'll say, okay, updating.
No, it automatically updates. That's the benefit of Chrome, in my opinion.
All right. So we'll see. As long as 32-bit is going to still be available out there that I can go and downgrade, it's okay.
Now you're gonna have to take the 31-bit. The 32-bit is not going to be available anymore.
All right. We'll do that. So Nick,
I just clicked on. I mean, I knew I was running 64, but I wasn't sure what version. So if you right-click on the 3 dots, or you click on the 3 dots on the
all you have
side of Chrome,
all you have to do is Control Alt Delete.
Click on Help and About Google Chrome. It will automatically, if you're not at the latest version, it will update you right there.
Yeah,
and then you can have the opportunity to relaunch if you want to.
But if you do Control Alt Delete and go to Task Manager, you can see whether you're running the 64 or the 32. The 64 will not say anything, I think. The 32 will say Chrome 32.
Yep.
I just did help about on mine, and it updated.
Yep.
Relaunch to take effect.
Yep.
I recommend everybody does do that. You need to have your web browser up to date. I don't care what excuse you have. Your web browser needs to be up to date. You don't have a good reason for it not to be.
I know somebody who had works for a financial company that requires, or did require until recently, that you only use Internet Explorer because that's the only browser they supported from a
Unbelievable.
security perspective. And he had a problem with his specific Dell laptop graphics driver. When a generic update would come out from Microsoft, it would always blue screen the computer. So the only way he could fix it was to go in after he did a series of updates. You go in and remove that specific update, and it would work. But it was not even an Internet Explorer update per se, but he had to keep doing the refreshes with Internet Explorer in order to even log. He couldn't log into this company's website unless he was at the latest version, supported version of IE. Yeah, it was a little tricky for a while. It worked fine if he had a external monitor, which was so bizarre. It wouldn't blue screen.
Very weird.
But that machine it's been dropped. It's been it's still working, but it's realizes it's a step away from being kicked out the door.
Its days are numbered.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an interesting thing to talk about a bit later with Microsoft that I had experience with this week.
Why don't you want to talk about it now?
Because I don't want to do it now. I'll do it later.
All right, that's fine. Here's something that it's a story from last week. I never got around to it, but it's an interesting thing. So Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales is launching an online publication to fight fake news. Google said it is taking its first attempt to combat the circulation of fake news on search engines. On its search engine. Facebook is already talking about how to combat. But I thought that before the election, they said there was no such thing as fake news. So now they're realizing that it is a problem and they're trying to fight it.
This whole thing is ridiculous. This is all the coordinated effort by the powers that be to suppress any type of opinion, that they not allow the wide dissemination of any opinion they don't believe. For example, if I want to believe that September 11, 2001 was set up by the federal government, that is my right to do so.
Yeah.
If I want to believe that. And the fact that Google and all these other places feel the need to, I guess they're not censoring the information, but they're making it almost non-existent in terms of search-wise. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. If I want to believe that the Boston bombing was done by the CIA, I should be able to believe that if I want. That's my prerogative to do so. As long as I'm not out there killing people, I don't really see the problem with that. If I want to sit here and believe that stuff, that's my prerogative.
They tolerate a lot of disinformation. It's the stuff that they target.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, that they want to suppress. So if there's something that's not favorable to their worldview, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, they'll suppress it. So that's the scary part of this, is that the people who are making the decisions, the people who are in the high seats of power at Facebook and at Google and wherever, are making these decisions to say, well, this is based on what we think. So, and they're of course right, because they assume that they're right.
Yeah, and maybe the 9/11 and the other thing are probably bad examples, but I mean, you see what's going on with if anybody's familiar with Alex Jones and InfoWars, he's under constant attack, and the guy's a nut job. I will agree that he's a nut job. I find him very entertaining.
Well, that's what he is. I don't think he's like this in person.
No, I think part of it is. I mean, and some of it is his shtick. He's a radio show host, but you know, like him or hate him, if you watched him throughout the election, a lot of the stuff he has said has come true over time. Like him or hate him, you can't deny it. So, you know,
the National Enquirer every so often stumbles into a real story. And like the John Edwards story was broken by, of all places, the National Enquirer, and it turned out to be true about what he was doing. And so I take it for what it's worth, but at the same time, for it to not be there, They're always, look at what happened for 100 years. 100 years ago, newspapers were publishing false stories to promote something. The Spanish-American War started because newspapers were promoting an event that they said was so horrible, and turns out it may not have been true. The explosion of the Maine.
And that was a coordinated attack. That was a coordinated effort by our federal government. They had literally a department of disinformation in which they were disseminating fake. No, AMNON, you can laugh.
No, I'm laughing because it's true, but it sounds so.
It sounds ridiculous. Go take a look at the stuff Spence is talking about. There was a federal government, some division of the federal government that job was to disseminate verified information, or they could just say whatever the hell they wanted and everybody would publish it and believe it. And now we've run into this problem where for that National Enquirer thing is great. And I mean, even look at TMZ. They broke Michael Jackson's death. Half the stuff on TMZ is fake. But that's the problem, is if you get rid of them completely, now when they want to break somebody's death or have the scoop on some story, nobody gets to see it because it's gone.
Wow.
It is unfortunate that you have so many people who are willing to accept something at face value instantly. Because I'm reading it, it must be true. So it's just amplified now so much more than it used to be. It used to, if you saw it on television, it had to be true. Or you saw it in the papers, it had to be true. Well, now you can get it from any source. And but people will always see through their own filter. And I acknowledge that. I know I have a filter. Everybody does. Well,
and the unfortunate part, Spence, here is we have been, you look at 30 years ago, you saw it on the news, it was true. Even 5 years ago, you see it on the news, it's true. So that idea that everything that is published is true is kind of come back to bite the media in the behind, because they were, anything that you see published on this news organization is true. And we've seen over the past couple of months, that's just not the case.
The thing is, nowadays, everything is instant. So, you could just happen across something that you look at and think, well, yeah, it must be true then, because it's just been posted about it. People are talking about it. It's not until a few minutes go by, you look at it again and think, hang on, that can't be true. But the initial thought is, I've read it, I've seen it. Other people are talking about it. It's got to be true instantly.
I mean, here's a great example of this is recent. This is 2 days ago. A great example of media not wanting to cover a story. The French election, the front runner in that election, Macron, had a Hillary Clinton-like email dump published by WikiLeaks. It included all this financial information that he was doing stuff out of the country with taxes and a bunch of classified emails about military stuff that the French military was doing. There was the Sky, BBC, none of them reported on it. It was specifically an online covered story. And I'm sure there are people that are going out to the polls today in France as that election goes on that have no clue that this happened, because the powers that be decided this is not something we want to talk about.
They're actually instructing people not to read it.
Yeah. It is the literal definition of deception. They are telling people, "Oh, don't look over here. This is scary. Don't go vote for our man. Don't vote for Le Pen. She's a Nazi. Don't vote for her." I mean, it's crazy.
You know what, though, Nick? There's one saving grace to this, is to watch certain people's heads explode. Because it's just to watch Hollywood celebrities and all these people just go absolutely bonkers over something that isn't true, or some assumption that they have, or it used to be infuriating. Now I watch it, I'm like, this is funny.
Popcorn. It's part of the show.
Funny. Yeah. It's just you watch people literally, they'll come out and say things that are so outrageous that you sit back and go, who actually will listen to this person talk and think that they're telling the truth? There are people, but
I like what Brent put in the chat. Instead of calling it fake news, this is actually a good opinionated news. That's good. That's okay. It's opinionated.
But here's the thing. Every bit of news is opinionated. I'm fine with opinionated news, opinionated journalism if it's covered fairly.
Yeah.
If you want to give me your opinion on and this is the way I believe it should be done. lay out the story with the facts, and then give me your opinion. If I believe your opinion is valid and I agree with it, I'll agree with it. If I don't think it's not, I have the information to come up with my own opinion. But when you don't give me the facts and you just come out with, oh, well, I believe this, that, and the other, and I'm not going to tell you any information to back it up. What am I supposed to believe? I believe exactly what you say because you told me. I don't have any other information to support that. Yeah. So I'm fine with opinionated journalism and opinionated news, but you have to give me the information before you're going to go out there and tell me what I should believe and how I should think.
And
not enough verification these days. People hit on a news story that they think is true and valid.
It's
and
because
they haven't bothered verifying it.
It's because we don't have the time to go verify, right?
Well,
No,
I mean,
We want it
gotta
right
be
there and
instant.
then.
We want to be the first to report it.
Yeah.
but I mean, but case in point, look at what's going on with this healthcare situation. I mean, you turn on the media and you would think that a bill was just signed to kill everybody that's poor.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you literally turn on the news and you would think anybody that is below the poverty level has just been signed to execution by the federal government. That's what you would believe if you watch what the coverage of this healthcare vote, and it's just not the case. Again, like it or hate it, go read the bill. There's no indication that below average income people are going to be murdered by this healthcare bill like the media wants you to believe. It's ridiculous.
I put it in a different way. They did not vote. I mean, any kind of bill that they voted, it's moot. It's not real. In my opinion, all they just voted for was to give the Senate the go-ahead to come up with a bill, with a law, because it's going to change. All these, here are the numbers, and 24 millions, and it's meaningless because it is not really the law. So to make it simple, all they voted for was for the first step to repeal and replace. That's all they did. If there were no details, it'll be the same thing. But
again,
who am
I don't care if you support the repeal or the replacement, but it's the unfair, unjust. Yeah. There's no facts. I mean, even Nancy Pelosi's. I don't want to get crazy political with this, but Nancy Pelosi's out there bashing it, and she's asked by a reporter, "Did you read it?" And she says no. And how the hell do you know what you're talking about?
Well, I mean, that's the way she works. First vote for it, then read it.
I mean,
that's her way.
But you've got to seriously consider. And I'm just as guilty of this as everybody else. Please, I'm not sitting up here on some high horse. I often see a headline and go, "Oh my God, that's ridiculous." And if I'm in passing and don't have time to read the story, I'll believe that till I go back and read it. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people, and even I think a lot of journalists, get caught up in somehow. These people have been told to just read the headline and report on that instead of the actual information in the story. Like when they post an article that if the Trump is the lowest, he has the lowest approval rating ever, and then the last line of their article says that if the election was held today, he would have won again. I mean, that's important information to put in your article. It's not covered because it's on the last line.
So if you want to, if you want to hear more of what Nick says and talks, and
yes,
confirm whatever,
get on this table.
Then go tonight at 7:00 at what is it? Big Talk? No, come on, Nick.
Come on, Amnon, you can do it. You can do it, Amnon. I believe in you.
Big Talker. Big Talker.
There you go. The Big Talker.
Big Talker Radio in Wilmington, and you can get on tune in to listen to it. Nick does a show on the air on Sunday evening from 7 till 8, and it's full of good political stuff.
I'm gonna have to stop coming on this show because I'm giving away all my topics.
Well, you see, I'm stopping you.
No, this
so
is
that's
just
it.
This is
you got to stop me.
This
is my entire show. You don't even need to listen now. You've heard.
No, you need to. I know there's more stuff than that. But anyway, to go back to technical stuff.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Google and Facebook and all this. Listen to this. Leaked documents from Facebook team in Australia allegedly show the social giant ability to help advertise advertisers target teens who feel worthless. The document, first revealed by the Australian, say Facebook can spot when teens need a confidence boost. The document reportedly gets even more specific, saying Facebook's algorithm can pinpoint when teen feels useless, stressed, failure, silly, stupid, worthless, and defeated. Using Facebook's tools as well as image recognition, advertisers would be able to find teens in some of their lowest moments and then target ads to them. The leaked document also details how advertisers could use Facebook's algorithm to find teens who were interested in working out and losing weight and promote health products. According to the Australian, Facebook team in Australia was reportedly looking to capitalize on 6.4 million teens who use the social network in their region. So look at this. They find out who is down and then target. What do you think they're going to target them with when they're down? With pep talks? I doubt it. So
I just this is part of what we've decided.
yeah, I know.
It's unfortunate, but
it's
what
sad.
we've decided.
It's really
it
sad.
is sad, but it's the situation. Unfortunately, I always say this because it's important to remember. We have chosen this way for ourselves.
Oh.
So it's
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Gene, have a great game, man. Enjoy the day. Let's see what else. A team of researchers from the Brunswick Technical University in Germany has discovered an alarming number of Android apps, 234 to be exact, that employ ultrasonic tracking beacons to track users and their nearby environment. Their research paper focused on the technology of ultrasound cross-device tracking, which they call UXDT, that became very popular in the last 3 years. UXDT is the practice of advertisers hiding ultrasounds in their ads. When the ad plays on a TV or radio, or some ad code runs on a mobile or computer, it emits ultrasounds that are picked up by the microphone of nearby laptops, desktop, tablets, or smartphones. SDKs embedded in apps installed on these devices relay the beacon back to the online advertisers, who then knows that the user of TV X is also the owner of a smartphone Y, and links their two previous advertising profiles together, creating a broader picture of the user interest, device portfolio, home, and even family members. I mean, just by running apps, they can find out what TV you have at home, what tablet you have at home, how many people. It's really scary. And again, if they combine these two and send you advertisement, is it advertisements is going to be good for you? No. So what do you think about that?
I want to be
Ultrasound.
able to open the door and have the device I was thinking about delivered. Right? I was a knock at the door. Oh, here's that thing you've been browsing about. We just decided to ship it to you. If you don't like it, send it back. If you want it, we'll charge you. What's wrong with that?
It's a very devious way of doing it, isn't it?
Very.
There were people that were actually doing this a number of years ago. They would ship you something. I don't know how they knew whether you wanted it or not, but they could tell. They could either you filled out a survey somewhere, whatever. But they would actually ship products. One of them was an office supply company that would without your knowledge or request, would ship you like a pallet of paper, and then use that as a lever to try to get into your business by basically giving the first one away. But they would unscrupulous sales tactics.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like subliminal advertising.
Where was it about Microsoft here? Oh. Wait. Okay, yeah. So Microsoft also announced the newest addition to its Surface computing lineup, dubbed the Surface Laptop. The laptop starts at $999 and is for everyone, the company claims, though the focus is on students and professionals. And this is from the report. It says that the Surface Laptop includes a 13.5-inch pixel, blah, 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 blah. It's an i5 or i7 and can pack in an SSD up to 1 terabyte. Performance-wise, Microsoft Surface head Panos Panay claims the laptop is 50% faster than the Core i7 MacBook Air, while also being lighter. So they wanted to go away from laptops, but here it is going back to laptops. Are we seeing, is this going to create a trend? Steve, you have a Surface.
I've got a Surface Pro 3, yeah.
And you bought it because you wanted a tablet and not a laptop, right? But
no, Dad, my father bought it because it was, he wanted something that he could sort of stick on his lap and go from the desk to sort of sitting on his lap in front of the TV. He just wanted something compact. And he liked the idea of just having, the screen without the keyboard sticking out, although it does come with the keyboard. But he wanted the idea of, just having it on his lap and tapping on the screen to do whatever. But it didn't work out for him, so I got it. Woohoo!
Well,
I use it occasionally without the keyboard when I'm not sort of sat in my armchair. But more often than not, the keyboard is attached, to be honest, because there's certain things it won't do by touch on the screen, which is infuriating.
Like what?
What can you do? For instance, if you want to log into Gmail, but you've got 2 accounts, normally you would click in the name address bar or the email address bar, and it would pull you a drop down with other accounts that you have. But when you're on touchscreen, if you touch in the bar, it doesn't do that. So you need the mouse. That's kind of annoying because, I do swap between one or 2 different Gmail accounts. Okay, if you've got the mouse there, you just tap the cursor in there and it drops down and you can select one or the other. But let's say just touching in the box on the touch screen doesn't bring a pop-up. So yeah, that needs fixing. Please, Microsoft, if you're listening, thank you.
Interesting. So again, as far as Microsoft, so now there is a new Windows 10.
10S.
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 Now, what is it geared toward?
Apps.
Creators.
Schools.
Oh, it's
I'm sorry.
Education.
the Google Chrome killer.
They are doing the same thing, or they're trying. We always said that Microsoft is always way behind. This is how Apple started, is by making things for schools and affordable to schools, because you get into the schools, kids are putting their hand on an Apple, they get used to iOS, to the Apple OS 10 or whatever comes up. And when they leave schools, That's what they buy because that's what they know. Now, IBM is saying, well, we're going to try the same thing. Here it is. Now, Chromebooks are in there, and a lot of schools bought them because they were cheap. And kids are going out, and when they want to get a phone, they get an Android. So Microsoft is trying this, and it says if the developers do start leveraging the Windows Store, the Windows 10S experiment could take off as users won't find the need to install legacy programs. The 10S will get stuff only from the Windows Store, supposedly. Even though they're saying that you can get Chrome, a third-party software, but you have to get it from the Windows Store.
At least now they've got a good selection of apps in the store.
Hopefully.
Years ago.
Hopefully.
And there was talk as well about will software writers actually create apps from the full-fledged software that come from the store? You know, will they actually start writing them as an app? Difficult to say at this point, isn't it? Depends how well it takes off.
And they're creating other situations here. As far as the Windows and Windows 10S and cloud books or whatever, this will largely depend on web browsers being available there, as many users dislike Edge. Thankfully, Microsoft is allowing third-party browser installs from the Windows stores. Unfortunately, there is a big catch. You cannot change the default. Buried in the Windows 10S FAQ, the following question is presented. Are there any defaults that I cannot change in my Windows 10S PC? Microsoft provides the answer, yes. Microsoft Edge is the default web browser on Microsoft 10S. You are able to download another browser that might be available from the Windows Store, but Microsoft Edge will remain the default. So, for example, you open the HTML file, the default search provider, it'll open Edge. The default search provider in Microsoft Edge and Internet Explorer cannot be changed either. So, guess what you're going to have to start using? Bing. Of course, you can always go to the Google webpage and search there, but they're locking you tighter and tighter to their products and their service.
It was also Edge too, right? Isn't the default browser fixed as Edge?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's weird that they're doing this because they've got into trouble with the European Union several times now over insisting that you use Internet Explorer and not giving you an option of having another browser when you install. And if they're doing this now for Windows 10S with Edge, they're just going to get into trouble and be fined millions again. I don't understand why they keep doing it. They're doing it over and over again.
They maybe think that the climate has changed, and that since other people do it, that they can get away with it now.
Who's doing it and getting away with it? Who's locking you to? I mean,
Apple. Hello.
Safari.
No,
Apple.
you can. Can't you change the defaults in Safari?
You could change the default browser in Safari, but if you, I mean, this may be to the extreme, but I mean, you could say Chrome is locking you in on the Chromebook, but you wouldn't because it's. I mean, this device is meant to be used. This is the educational version of Windows 10.
Right. Yeah.
Why would you need to change the browser? This isn't for consumers.
You can argue it that way. You're absolutely right, Nick.
Well, this is the way I see it. If you're, I've used these crappy computers that these school districts buy. They buy these piece of junk, 3-in-1 tablet computer things. They're slow. It's bogged down with other bloatware on it, and the things run like crap. So if this is Microsoft's solution, if this is the cheap solution for a school to get some of these computers, I really don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but other people will buy it. It's not just for school. It's targeted.
Yeah, fair play to them to try and compete. If it's going against a Google Chrome netbook, notebook, whatever it's called, a Google Chromebook, and it's a couple of $100 for a Windows 10, then yeah, people are going to go, hang on a minute, it's Windows. I know that. I don't have to learn something new.
True.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, it's just interesting that the route they're taking, and we'll see if it works or not. Hey, Spence, you want to do the specials?
Sure. I can do that.
Good.
But as usual, I not was caught off guard.
No, that's okay. You can take your time. You can.
No, I got it. It's there, and it's the correct date. So I guess we're okay.
All right, there it is.
All right. Let's see. Plus. Scroll up the screen. Okay. So continuing for Computers 2K Now specials with our test format, where we are highlighting product types instead of actual retailers.
Like
In
it.
some cases, we might not have a product from that specific retailer in a week. So give it a shot again, and also have some highlighted products at the end. So starting for May 7th, 2017, laptops. We've got a couple of deals out there. One is at Best Buy. It is an expensive Chromebook. This is a 12.3-inch Samsung Chromebook, touchscreen, 4 gig of memory, $419, $30 off.
With only 4 gig of
Chromebooks
memory.
are graduating to
Wait. What did you say, Steve?
With only 4 gig of memory, and it's $419. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
typically Chromebooks were less than that, but
Yeah.
if you can get a hold of Chromium, you can run it on anything. But a purpose-built Chromebook, it is a convertible touchscreen laptop flip around type deal. HP 15.6-inch AMD A10 quad-core laptop for $399. That's $180 off. That's at Office Depot. Staples has an Intel 15.6-inch Intel Core i7 for $599. That's $180 off.
Good price.
Desktops. We've got a couple of machines out there. Got an all-in-one from HP at Best Buy for $329. It's $20 off. Not a big discount, but it is an AMD E2, and I would encourage you to compare it to the Intel Pentium Quad, which is a true 4-core, whereas the E2 is I don't know if it's a true 4-core. It's at least 4 threads, but AMD E2 is a physical 2-core machine, but it's a little bit cheaper too than buying the Intel version of this 19.5-inch all-in-one. We've got an HP Slim that has the Intel Pentium Quad in it. This is at Office Depot for $259. That's $100 off. Staples has the Dell touchscreen desktop with Intel Core i5. This is an all-in-one for $699, $200 off the regular price. Again, all-in-ones are useful if you want to have an uncluttered space, especially a shared space in a home where you want to have a place where kids can do their homework. You don't want them in their rooms doing this by themselves. You want to be able to watch what they're doing. These can be an easy way to have a machine in a relatively small space.
Mm-hmm.
And this Dell machine, this is a screamer. It's expensive, but this is an i5 business class machine. Okay, moving to tablets. We've got an offering at Best Buy with the Samsung Galaxy Tab A 8-inch 16 gig for $149, save $50. There's a new version of the Amazon Fire HD tablet that came out, so I think they're discounting the prior version. This is an 8-inch 16 gig, $64.99. This is for the Fire HD. This is their better tablet. Save $25.
Spence, stop
Yes,
for a
sir.
second, and Paul, Andrew, we need to get people the information.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The nomenclature on the actual guide itself. B is for Best Buy. Thank you, Steve. O is for Office Depot, Office Max, and S is for Staples. So if you see the picture, just look at the legend, and you'll know where these things are available.
Okay.
At Office Depot, Office Max, we have the Lenovo Tab 3 8-inch Wi-Fi tablet, 1 gig of memory, 16 gig storage for $89, which is $60 off the regular price. Got some networking things out there from Best Buy, Linksys, Velop, not the best brand name, Velop Tri-Band. Whole house Wi-Fi mesh system is a 3-pack for $449. That's 50 off. Got a favorite here at Office Depot, Office Max, the TP-Link Archer C8 wireless gigabit dual band router for $99. That's 20 off. And at Staples, Amazon Echo's on sale. I don't know if you can get it this cheap at Amazon. $149 for this is the true Echo that's got the built-in speaker system, not the little small one that comes with the Echo Dot, but this is the high fidelity speaker system. $149, 30 off. Storage devices. We have at Best Buy a SanDisk 256 gig USB 3.0 flash drive for $59.99. That's $140 off the regular price. Also at Best Buy, we've got a Western Digital 4 terabyte USB 3.0 desktop drive for $109. That's $10 off. That's cheaper than buying the 4 terabyte drive. And at Office Depot, Office Max, we've got the Western Digital 1 terabyte USB 3.0 portable drives for $59. That's 15 off the regular price. Moving to accessories. At Best Buy, we've got the Microsoft Sculpt ergonomic desktop keyboard, USB. It's not wireless. AMNON, this is the one you need to get. It's kind of weird looking, but you could put your camera on a little stick right in the middle of the keyboard there, so you can be really close to your face.
And you can see it right through. It'll see you right through that crack.
That's right. Right. It's got separate numeric keypad, so if you're an accountant, it's an interesting setup. I don't know how useful it is, but it's $82.99, save $47 at Best Buy.
It's ideal having that space so you can just wipe all the crumbs into the middle.
Yeah, that's right. You could have a big straw coming up through there, going down to a big glass of diet soda.
Yeah.
Right. Lots of things you could do with this.
It looks nose-shaped, so ideal for when you want to plonk your head on the keyboard and have a sleep.
That's right. And keep you aligned so you don't your head doesn't roll from one side to the other. Don't break your nose. Very nice. Office Depot, Office Max has a Logitech MK520 wireless keyboard and mouse combo. This is a great price. It's half price. $29.99, save $30. Staples has the MK270 entry-level full-size keyboard. I think I actually am using that one at my desk. $16.99. That's the cheapest I've seen it. $13 off.
I got the 260. Nice keyboard.
Yeah, they are nice. All the Logitech ones, even the lower-end ones, are quite well made. Looking at some monitors, Best Buy has got a 21.5-inch AOC LED monitor for $79.99. That's 50 off. Office Depot has a Samsung 22-inch for $99. That's 40 off. And Staples has an Acer 23-inch screen for $99. That's $50 off. Printers. Got an HP OfficeJet Pro 6968 for $89.99 at Best Buy. That's 60 off. We've got a Epson Workforce WF3620 at Office Depot, Office Max for $89.99, save $80. And a Workhorse. This is the Brother HL L62 6200 DW mono laser printer. This is at Staples for $179, $70 off. This is a high duty cycle printer. I have the older version of this one. Very happy with it. Been using it for years. Sitting in my closet, connected wirelessly. The only thing that goes in there is the power cord. But great printers for small business, even medium-sized business. You can crank out lots of content from these machines, and they'll just keep working.
And the most important thing, the toner and drums are cheap.
Yes, they're very reasonable. And go with the high capacity toner, because it'll last a long time. I kept the starter one in my older brother multifunction. I just kept shaking it, and it lasted for 5 years. Before I finally said, no, you have to change it. So home automation and security at Best Buy, we've got the Wemo mini Wi-Fi smart plug for $29.99. That's 5 off. Now this is a standalone device as well as can be integrated into home automation if you purchase the correct hub. So look it up online to see what this is compatible with. So you can use it as more than just a single standalone device using an app on a smartphone. That's at Best Buy. At Office Depot, we've got the TP-Link wireless smart plug with energy monitor built in for $39.99. And we've got TP-Link 60-watt smart wireless LED bulb, dimmable bulb, for $24.99. That's also at Office Depot, Office Max. The nice part about that is you do not need a specialized hub to talk to this. It's just an app from a phone using Wi-Fi. You can turn the bulb on and off, dim it. So you can get into home automation without actually building a hub-based system.
You don't need a battery in there either?
Yeah, no. It's got, you have to supply power to it all the time. So the switch stays on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, I came across a product. I had seen this name out there, but they have got a really nice line of cameras and security type products. It's called eViz. And I'm mentioning two of them. They have a whole line. At the bottom, you'll see some of the other types of products that they make, but they make a nice line of standalone products. And they can be integrated into a larger system, which is nice. So this is from Amazon. And if you go to the, look up eViz on Amazon, you'll see a whole array of products. But they have different size kits. This particular camera kit is nice because it's power over Ethernet. They have the same camera without power over Ethernet, but with a 32 gig SD card, 16 gig SD card. There's all different options you can buy. What I like about this is that it has motion capture recording. It can do DVR recording if you purchase the correct hub from them. They do have a product that you can buy, which will allow you to take most of their cameras that are IP based and record them in your home, or you can use their cloud service. So great options out there for recording. This particular one will work anywhere from 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The other ones are actually hardened even down to the below zero spec.
So you can use them in Antarctica.
In where? Or you're in your freezer if you want to make sure nobody's stealing. Right? If you wonder where are my
popsicles,
frozen pizzas going?
Yeah,
well, you can stick it in there. But take a look at this product line. Nice products, lots of options. The second one I'm mentioning is an indoor camera that works with Alexa. They said IFTT, that's if this, then that programming.
Yep.
You do not need to have a hub to use this, although it will work with, I think it works with Alexa standalone. I don't think you actually have to have a hub, but that's something worth looking into. But they've got great cameras for indoors too that have two-way audio. So you can actually hear and talk through to, if you find somebody in your home, you can tell them, hey, I got you on, I just recorded your face. And you can talk to them and challenge them.
Mm-hmm.
And multiple storage options available, cloud storage. You can do local storage. You can do storage to an SD card. So this is the company that's taken all of the unique things that I've seen out there, and they're packing them into the products, which is very nice. And at the very bottom here, you can see some of the other stuff they make: a dome camera, surveillance camera, Alexa enabled, just nice stuff. They do make conventional DVR and NVR based recording camera systems, like a 4-camera, 8-port, 8-camera, 8-port, Wi-Fi cameras, PoE cameras. They make the whole gamut of stuff. But if you want to start out with a single camera, some of these are quite nice.
Yep.
PoE would make cabling easier, although not. You can get a camera that's got a power over the cable going to it. So it's not necessarily, you always have to get some type of cable there unless it's battery powered. And batteries are becoming better, but they're still.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Although I noticed that the Netgear product now has a rechargeable battery that you can get that's got like a more commercial, they call it the Pro battery. So you're not actually putting in, I don't know if it takes double A's or triple A's or whatever, but it'll last longer. It's something you can recharge and keep rotating through. So it's like a little battery brick. That's it for Computers 2K Now specials, May 7th, 2017.
Yay! Thank
So
you.
AMNON, I know some people that would benefit greatly from both the indoor and outdoor versions of these cameras. Just like they have vacation homes, and they're not interested in putting in a wired capture system. They just want to be able to check to make sure everything's okay, and
Right.
they know that no one's going to be in their home. So if they get anything on the motion capture recording, they know something's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
So-
it can be a nuisance if you have it notify you every time something
true,
moves.
but-
It depends.
the-
If you have it adjusted right, that really it will only be a person that walks by. I mean, if you have it pointed in a way kind of toward the window, it can pick up. So you need to know what you're doing.
Yes.
But
true.
yes, absolutely.
And we
Absolutely.
really liked that. What was that brand of camera? Guardzilla. It's still very good, but Guardzilla. Sorry, I know my background.
Spence just kind of moved the beach or whatever. No, not the beach. The horizon.
Background.
His horizon.
My
Yeah,
head.
let's see if I'm going to have an
exploded.
event. Want to have another event? Here we go. Let me move the right way. Whoa! Yeah,
Gonna blow your mind.
that's right.
Anyway, yeah, the Guardzilla is a nice system.
Nice system, but the
And I would
again, there are newer features that are coming out of other brands. I don't know what Guardzilla, I know, has updated their product line recently, but I haven't.
really
looked at
the thing that is important to remember: don't spend a fortune on a camera system. Things are changing right now big time. So buy, if you need to have something to like Spence said, if you want to monitor your beach house or your mountain cabin or whatever, buy something that will work. You don't need all the bells and whistles. And before long, you'll see something and say, okay, yeah, that's what I want. It's just like a computer back in the old days. You don't buy one for 5 years from now. You buy it now to use, and then in 5 years you buy the next one. So don't spend too much money on camera system.
No, the price points now are
My
incredible.
opinion. Go ahead.
The price points now are incredible. You
Right.
can buy a Wi-Fi camera that works with Alexa, I should say, for $49 on Amazon.
Yeah. All right. And Savage Pagan was asking if anybody is using LED light bulbs yet and all that and how they like them. And I said, let's talk about it when we're done with the special. So that's
I have all LED lights wherever I can in the house as cost allowed. And if they're getting cheaper and cheaper, I just bought a bunch at Costco, really inexpensive. They're not dimmable, but in the applications I have, it doesn't matter. But my son has a lot of the Philips Hue bulbs, programmable color changing bulbs that he has set up to work with Alexa, and has set up scenes, different scenes, individual control and ganged control. And I just helped someone install GE smart dimmers throughout the house. These are Z-Wave dimmers that will work with home automation. and very happy with the control aspects of it. There's some issues with the bulbs, with dimming them and the sound that they make. I think we talked about this last week, didn't we? About the noise coming from the bulbs.
Doesn't matter. You can talk about it again.
Yeah, but I mean, it was interesting how he got Cree, he got Philips, and there was another brand that was a off brand, not a major name. And the ones that worked the best with the least amount of noise dimming were Philips. The Cree ones, which I thought would be, and I have lots of Cree, different generations of Cree in the house. One of them, and it was different from bulb to bulb. Were one of the worst ones I'd ever heard. I have hearing issues, and I could hear it. It was literally screeching
When you dim.
when you dim.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not unusual. Even an incandescent bulb, you'll hear the filament make sounds when you dim it.
Yeah, because they were
It
not designed for that.
Right. But still, there's not much you could do. There's no circuitry in an incandescent bulb.
Right.
What you're hearing is the power supply going to the LED because it runs on low voltage. It does not run on 120 volts.
Right.
But we had an interesting thought. We were talking about, you and I were talking about this, AMNON, the other day about why aren't houses wired for low voltage?
Yep.
Now with LEDs, you could have a 5 volt or 10 or 12 volt system in the house. And that's all you would need for lighting.
Right.
I'm not saying you don't need it for appliances, obviously, but you could do your entire lighting in your house with all LEDs low voltage.
Right. And you don't need to convert and create heat.
Yep. Because in some cases, you're doing a double conversion.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a lot, very inefficient. But yeah, I mean, we have LED bulbs all over the house. I don't think in the house we have any more incandescent or any CFLs. Everything is LED. It was a slow process. It's not like I walked in and changed it in one day. Changed here, changed there, and it works great so far. In the studio, I still use CFLs and some LED, and I'm in the process of changing everything to LED when I find the right combination, which I may have found, and we'll find out this week when I get those light bulbs, light fixtures, I should say. But they work, and they work there. If I don't know if Savage Pagan was talking about the home automation or just light bulbs. I mean, it'll be nice if you call in and we can discuss it. And for all of you, 919-518-9773 or computers 2K voice if you're on Skype.
And Paul Underwood has posted a few pics for Amazon. One is a 960p wireless HD camera, tilt and pan for $49.
Yep.
And then another, I haven't clicked on the other one yet, but it's an echo controlled LED color changing bulb for $18.99. Works with Alexa.
Yep.
This is amazing stuff. I mean, just think about the price points. It's just going to get better and better.
It has to, because there's more and more production. So that works. Yeah.
Yep. I like this a lot.
But there is nothing wrong. I mean, you can definitely go to the store and buy the 40 watt equivalent, 60 watt, 100 watt, and replace what you want to replace. You may want to buy one of each first and see, because the light is different, and you may not need
you are seeing LEDs now with different color temperatures, which is nice. They're not just the 2700 cool white anymore. You can get them up to 5000.
Yeah. I mean, even in the kitchen where we have that chandelier with the candle, kind of like light bulbs, whatever you call them, with the little base.
The candelabra bulbs.
Yeah, and LEDs, and they are much better than what they uh, incandescent were, and they're dimmable and they're cheap from Costco.
Oh yeah, those are Fight Electric is the brand that they carry at Costco.
Yeah.
And good stuff. And they have a lot of new fixtures that are LED only with no changeable bulbs. Yeah, Don's saying 2700 Kelvin color temp is cool white normal.
Yeah.
You get up into the 5000 range, it's daylight. And if you're not used to that or want it, I have actually an old fluorescent fixture in my kitchen with two 48-inch double bulb fixtures. And I have one that has daylight bulbs and one has cool white bulbs, just because I wanted to have broad spectrum in the kitchen. But yeah, look at color temperature also. The 100-watt bulbs, 100-watt equivalent bulbs are pricey. They're not as cheap as you can get the 60s. You can buy a package of 5 60-watt equivalent bulbs from Fight at Costco for $4.95, $4.95, $1 a bulb. And they are not dimmable, but they are rated at 10,000 hours. It was, if you buy something at Lowe's in that price range, it's going to be a 2,000 hour bulb, which is equivalent to a long life incandescent bulb. It's going to be cheaper, no doubt. The other caveat with LED bulbs and also compact fluorescents is that they'll say on some of them, not for used in fully enclosed fixtures. It's not that
because of the heat.
Yes, it's not that it won't work. It's got a power supply, and it will potentially shorten the life of the bulb. But also, if you are going to use a bulb outdoors, depending on the type of fixture you have, it either needs to be rated for damp locations or wet locations. Wet locations are out there. They're hard to find. And it means that they're built in such a way that rain can actually hit them, and they're impervious to water. Can't soak them in water, obviously, but water running across them is okay. Damp locations, if you have an enclosed lantern out on your front porch, or one that you put the bulb in from underneath, it would be okay to use a damp location bulb.
And if you're talking about fixtures, not necessarily to replace light bulbs in the house, like here in the studio, and for cameras and things like this, I bought a bunch of these. And they're about $18. And the nice thing about these, as far as color, I mean, here you're talking about colors. I don't know if I can. Let's see. It's you can dial which kind of light do you want. It goes all the way from 32 to 62, something like that. Kelvin. So you can have really white, or you can have it yellow, kind of warm, or you can mix them both, which gives you the brightest light. I mean, look at what it's doing to the background. Yeah, I can't show the thing, but it's just full of LEDs in there. There's 228 LEDs in it. It works. It actually this one's supposed to work on a battery, but I wired it to a 7.
Get up to 120 volts. Did it work better?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it is working on 110, but it's got a power supply in between for 7.5 volts.
Plug it in directly,
and it works. It really works very nice, and it's cheap.
I had a friend one time, AMNON. Somebody gave me a yellow rotating light for a vehicle.
Yeah,
that was a dashboard plug-in. He plugged it into the wall. Oh, let's see how this works, and stripped the wires off and literally sucked the wires into the wall. It lit up for about half a second, and that was it. So
I want to put
right.
these now. I want to put them for emergency lights because they work on a battery. It will be really, really nice, and I mean, you light up a whole room. I think these are 1800 lumens. I tried to find out what does a 100-watt light bulb give you in lumens.
Average
It's
incandescent bulb
all over the place. Yeah. So
somewhere around probably 1200.
yeah, well, this is 18, and it's nice. So there are so many different options with LED and what to do with them that this is why the prices are coming down, because they are
A rough service 100-watt bulb is about 1,000 lumens.
Okay.
So it would be higher than that if it was a regular bulb.
yeah. So this
1,500, not hours. Sorry,
the what
1,500 lumens. 1,500 lumens for a regular 100-watt
100.
bulb.
So this is just a little bit more than that.
Average.
Yeah. So it's
5 watts, 1,100 lumens.
it's nice.
Yep. Oh, and some of the new dedicated LED fixtures that they're coming out with. Replacement kitchen lights, hall lights, bathroom fixtures that are you can't change the bulbs. They come with LEDs built into them. But because of that, now they can come up with all kinds of interesting shapes.
Yep.
And some of them look just like their regular fixtures, and they just have a circuit board where the 2 sockets used to be, and they'll have LEDs off of that.
Right.
But and this again goes to why don't they wire houses with 12 volts?
That would be
Because
great.
you could have all this 12-volt lighting that would be pluggable that you could change. Oh, I think I'm going to change out all my lighting in the house. You can walk around and do it yourself because it's low voltage.
Yep.
Yep.
Nick, what about you? Did you put any LEDs in your room?
Nope. Not a big lighting. I'm not really into lighting.
So
It likes to be kept in the dark.
No, I don't know. I mean, I have daylight. I bought daylight bulbs probably 6 years ago, and I've been using those ever since.
So the CFLs or the
Oh yeah, they're CFLs.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, they're not daylight. They're bright.
yeah, they do call
They're
them.
just called. Yeah, but these ones are just called. I think they're just called bright white or something like that. They're white instead of orange.
Right.
But I mean, that's about it. I don't know. I'm not really. Never been too. I don't know. I'm just not very interested in the whole LED. Light
How many light
phase.
bulbs do you have in the room?
2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that even the heat there is not.
No, not a problem. I mean, no. But I don't know. It's just I've never. I mean, I like little LEDs to play around with and tinker, but in terms of switching to LED. No,
How about
not
the
really.
rest of the house?
No.
Interesting.
I've got
Nada.
CFLs throughout the house. I've just got one LED light, which is a clip-on with a little flexible arm for the bedroom. So it's meant as a reading light, really, but it's just sort of clipped onto the fireplace in the bedroom, and I use that as the light for the room. Nice yellow light, not too bright. I think it's 5 watt, 3 watt, something like that.
So Savage Pagan, did we answer your question since you didn't call in? Let's anything else? Steve, you wanted to talk about something?
Yeah, we can talk about it now if you like.
Sure.
I've got a Lenovo laptop, and I'd installed Windows 10,
Mm-hmm.
upgraded to Windows 10 from what was on it. And, I've just been running it. And I thought, the Creators update's done or down now. So I'll upgrade it to Windows Creators because all the other computers are done.
You upgraded to Windows what?
Creator.
Oh,
update.
the create. Yeah, update. Yeah.
So I thought, it's got the anniversary
Right.
on it. I'll upgrade to the Creators. The normal computers will be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to do uploads to do update, and it didn't come back and say, it's available. That's strange. So okay, not to worry. I'll go and download it anyway. So I went online, found the creators update downloaded it, went in to install it, and it asked for a product key. And I went, that's strange. Why are you asking for a product key? It's, you're just upgrading to creators. So I looked at the information properties from this PC, right click, properties, blah, blah, blah. And it said it wasn't activated. So, which is very unusual for Windows, because normally it pesters you to hell if you haven't activated it. But when I upgraded it, I didn't know whether it was Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 that was originally on the machine. But anyway, it upgraded to Windows 10 anniversary. But it never asked me to activate it. So I just assumed it was, it activated itself, as you would do, didn't pester me. So I thought it's activated. Great. So anyway, I contacted Microsoft and asked them, what's happening? I can't upgrade to Creators Edition. And they asked a few questions. What was on there before? What make was it? Blah, blah, blah. So I said, I'm not sure it was either 8 or 8.1. I'm being honest, I can't remember. And they said, well, if it's Windows 8, then we can't help you. You have to buy another license for Windows 10. But if it's Windows 8.1, we could probably do it for you. So she logged into the machine remotely, got the license key from the machine with a string of commands, whatever she typed in. And to all accounts, it was Windows 8 that was on the machine. So she said, I'm sorry, you'll have to buy a new license for Windows 10. So let that be a warning to you. If you have upgraded Windows to Windows 10 from 8.
If you're looking for an upgrade license, or a license, I should say, a full license to Windows 10 Pro, I found a deal. Let's see if I can find it here.
It is Windows 10 Home that I've got on the laptop. But it just confused me and made me a little bit annoyed, because up to now, any time I've upgraded Windows, it always says, enter your license key. This is an authorized version of Windows, and it just pesters you. And sometimes it'll even put up in the 4 corners, unlicensed version, whatever, you may be have succumbed to license evasion, blah, blah, whatever. But they normally say something, but nothing's been said on the laptop at all. If I'd have known that I needed to activate it in order to continue using Windows 10, I would have done it when I did the upgrade. So I was a little bit annoyed. So
It'll
I'm
pass.
stuck with Windows 8 on that machine now, unless I buy another license for Windows 10.
I trust the page that I found this. It's Extreme Tech posted this to say that there's a website that has a coupon code, or has a coupon for Windows 10 Pro key for $14.
Really?
Actually, it says US $15.22. I'm at the. I'll post this in the chat, but
because that's dirt cheap especially for Pro.
Windows 10 Pro OEM CD key global, whatever that means. I'm going to post it up here now. But if anybody needs a license, it says permanent authorized global key.
Okay.
I know what the process is. How do I activate?
Well, it's
purchase. You download it from Microsoft, and then you go ahead and buy the key, and they'll give you the key to activate it. So, I mean, there were sites out there that would give you these
workaround
older versions of software keys. I actually bought an Acrobat key that way, because I needed Acrobat and I couldn't afford to buy the latest full version. So I wound up buying one that was one version back for much, much cheaper. And it worked, and it was legitimate, and I got support for it. So it was just like a clearinghouse for older licenses. But this is new. I mean, Windows 10 Pro. 3264-bit available for one PC.
Right. Well, I'll probably give that a go. I mean, I can afford to lose $15. Well, I can't really, but I mean, $15. So what? $15.
Yeah. This is actually a gaming site, and they're putting it up there for people who need to upgrade their OS operating system.
Well, it'll upgrade from Home to Pro, even better.
Hmm.
What does Pro give you extra on over Home again? I can't remember. It gives you.
It's one less letter in the title, so it's not Home, which is 4 letters. It's Pro, which is 3. Well, there are some things supposedly like
GP Edit. I think
access to
is
more
one, isn't it?
networking. Home network. The Home version only allows you to network with a fixed number of other PCs on a network, where this one
I think
support domain login and things
it's
like
something
that.
to do with registry editing as well.
Yeah,
It allows you to do which it doesn't on Home.
Yep.
I'll give that a go afterwards. Thank you. With Creators Editions, the Creators Edition, you can defer updates for 3 days and then another 3 days and another 3 days if you want to, or you can schedule it for a time when you're not busy, Charles. I shall go get my wallet out. Thank you for that, Spence. But yeah, I imagine there's other people in a similar situation. It just, she was very helpful, Microsoft, really apologetic and helpful. Yeah, you don't know until you get into that position and you think, darn it, why didn't I do it before?
So Microsoft is trying with Edge. So it said that they're in the testing stage of a new feature in its Edge browser for Windows 10 that is malware proof, as it partitions the browser windows from the rest of the computer. This will be a welcome addition to users who are worried about the legitimacy of sites they want to visit. The new feature, catchily dubbed Windows Defender Application Guard, is part of the recently launched Windows Insider Preview. In order to access it, you will need to be a member of the Microsoft Business Service Enterprise and have your settings calibrated so you're in the testing group called FastRing. So it works by creating a virtual PC that is entirely separate from the all storage, other apps, and the Windows 10 kernel, meaning that the browser should be completely impervious to malware. That's kind of interesting. If Edge was full-featured like the other ones, that would be very interesting.
I don't believe that anything can be completely impervious.
No, but I mean, it's the idea behind it, how they're separating it and putting it in its own environment is interesting. Steve.
Hello.
You better wash your face and comb your hair and dress nice. Because the UK government is planning to push greater surveillance powers that would force internet providers to monitor communications in near real time and install backdoor equipment to break encryption, according to a leaked document from a report on ZDNet. A draft of the proposed new surveillance powers, leaked on Thursday, is part of a targeted consultation into the Investigatory Power Act, brought into law last year, which critics call the most extreme surveillance law ever passed in a democracy. Provision in proposals show that the government is asking for powers to compel internet providers to turn over the real-time communications of a person in an intelligible form, including encrypted content, within 1 working day. To that end, internet providers will be forced to introduce a backdoor point on their networks to allow intelligence agencies to read everyone's communications. Is this going to pass?
Yes, probably. There's been a lot of news media covering it, so it's just going to be pushed through the back door like every other thing like this is, and then we'll be monitored in another way. So, what can you do?
I don't know. There's nothing you can do.
Nope, you just got to suck it up, as my dad says. Just suck it up.
He said that, huh?
That's what he says. He says, well, that's it. He said, you've got no control over your life anymore. Just put up with it, suck it up.
So Gene is not here yet, but Spence, IBM accidentally shipped USB drives infected with malware to some customers.
No.
The company noted in a support advisory post. The drives contain an initialization tool for some of its store-wise systems. Don't know what that is. The post
Point of
stated.
sale. Point of sale stuff.
Okay. And it says, from a report, it says that IBM customers who received a USB flash drive with the part number 01AC585. At this point, any flash drive from IBM, I would probably scan and all that, should either destroy the drive so that it cannot be reused, or follow the steps listed in the post to repair the drive. And they have a whole list of flash drives and numbers of these things. This happens because quality control goes to shit. Nobody checks before sending stuff out. Nobody, I mean, here is a computer probably, or well, it's a computer, duplicate or whatever, that copies these, and it was probably infected. Or the computer that it was developed on was infected. You think maybe it was developed in India? Maybe?
Maybe.
No, it must be the Russians. It's got to be the Russians.
Has to be.
Yeah,
They're responsible for everything.
absolutely.
I went into the grocery store the other day and the price had changed on my favorite cereal. It was the Russians.
It was the Russians. They changed. Absolutely. They hacked it and changed.
It has to be.
Yeah.
You guys are being very insensitive. Please stop. Thank you. It's not funny. It's not a laughing matter. I mean,
It is funny. Come on. You got to laugh
being
about
insensitive. Being insensitive.
it. All
Back to you.
right.
All right, I'll make everybody happy. I'll put a joke in chat.
Thank you, Spence. I appreciate that.
Actually, I thought I was copying just the joke, but it looks like it copied the whole page.
See, now you're a plagiarist. Now, excuse me. Now you're not a plagiarist.
Let's see. Did that what? No, it brought the whole thing up there, which is stupid. No, I thought I copied just the text.
So websites do that though. You can build it into
Yeah.
JavaScript when you copy that. It
Pain.
does everything.
I'll read the joke. A science teacher tells his class, oxygen is a must for breathing and life. It was discovered in 1773. A student responds, well, thank God I was born after 1773. Otherwise, I would have died without it.
And that's a student in college, probably.
Probably.
Awesome.
Why can't
So
you
bad.
trust an atom?
Why can't you trust them?
Because they make up everything.
Okay. Thank you, Spence.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is quite a show.
Sorry.
I've just gone through and ordered that license key from that thing, so we'll see how we get on with it.
Ah,
Seemed pretty painless.
I believe that if Microsoft today said, okay, here is another month that people can upgrade from 7 or 8 to 10 for free, here's what you do, that they will get a lot of people to convert,
No, boo-hoo.
Yeah, I
right?
think they would.
Yeah, they would.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
What? To do that? Or to
Yeah,
upgrade?
I mean, this is my problem with people. You knew for months and years that this was going to happen, and if you chose not to, that's on you. Why?
Well-
I mean, why would they bring it back for another month?
Yeah, but that's the point is
Was the year that they had it available not long enough? I mean, come on.
Nah, they are trying to get you. They're trying to get into your computer. They're trying to limit you to what you are going to be doing. They're trying to control it better. If you stay on the fringe, they can't control you. So by allowing millions more to upgrade and to get into Windows 10, they are serving themselves good.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't see why. I don't. If people were interested in upgrading, they would have upgraded. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You chose not to upgrade. You chose not to upgrade. That's
Absolutely
that's what it comes down to.
not to upgrade.
Yeah, that's fine. But I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't want Microsoft to bring it back for another month so more people can hem and haw on what they want to do. I mean, you had time.
What else? It's almost that time of day.
Almost.
Yep. It's almost there. Did you know that if you have an Android phone, a new piece of Android malware is discovered every 10 seconds? At this rate, the company is predicting there will be 3.5 million new malicious Android files by the end of the year. The threat level for users with smartphones and tablets with an Android operating system remains high. In all the G data, that's the company's security experts, expect around 3.5 million new Android malware apps for 2017. They said the firm said that the risk was heightened by the fact that only a small minority of users are on the latest version of Android.
Oh, that's Google's fault.
Yeah.
Because they are awful with requiring people to update. Yeah, that's completely on Google. I have no pity for Google on that. They've really done a disservice with Android.
Disservice.
Yeah, they've done a total disservice with Android. I mean, look at you. You go and you buy an Android phone from the store. It's running a 4-year-old version of Android. Yeah. Now you've got to go on some XDS developer forum and figure out what the hell's going on. It's ridiculous.
Agreed. All right. So if there's nothing else to talk about, and then we can sign off.
Sign here.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Steve, Spence, Nick. Mike has his company, so he couldn't join us. He let me know earlier. Nick, tell everybody again where you're going to be at 7 o'clock, or where they can hear you tonight at 7.
On TuneIn, WFBT on TuneIn.
Okay. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive. Update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. While you're at it, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.